Hey y'all, welcome to Austin Farm Sanctuary. I am very excited to give you a virtual tour of our amazing 95-acre home to over 220 once farmed residents, now all living their best life, ranging from chickens and ducks all the way up to cows, pigs, goats, etc., and everybody in between, including a couple of water buffaloes, peacocks, turkeys, etc. that have snuck their way in over the years. This is our front 7-acre room. It's a little bit of a drive out here. We'd show you our beautiful new restrooms that we just built along with our outdoor kitchen, and then we'd go on to the rest of the property. I'm going to tell you stories about all of our residents along the way. We would love for you to reach out to us with questions, or if you want to be a part of this in person, we have tours, both virtual. Our residents in person, get to know them as individuals. The most important aspect of our mission is, well, one, people into our mission. It is incredibly important for us, for people to get to know these animals as in, but how do you get to know Doya, know Bo Diddley, know Galactus the rooster, know Buddy? How do you get to connect with these individuals, know them as sentient, singular people? And from that, got a little dark underneath this area for our sunset stroll, so we'll talk a little bit about our Butacrew. So we had a big cockfighting seizure, unfortunately common here in the South, where 140 birds were left to die after being raised in cockfighting. The person moved off property. We were able to get about 100 out of there. The other 40 had already perished by the time we arrived, and we got some rehomed. But then over the last couple of years, we've been building these individualized pens. You can see we got a rooster and a hen, another rooster and a hen. We've got all sorts of lovely pairs of guys and gals here, living it up underneath the fans, blowing some nice cool air here. This is what Rooster Row looks like in the evening. It is quite the pop-in spot during the day. I'm going to take you down and let's go meet Copper's crew as well as Buddy's buds. This is Lottie, one of the pups of Austin Farm Sanctuary. Earlier this year, she made this amazing den. We have this large brush pile that we've been making, and Lottie has made a fantastic spot for herself, haven't you? Yeah, do you stay nice and cool in there? You got your cool collar on so we can track you around the sanctuary. Lottie and her brother Brink are very sweet babies. They joined us way back in the old days at the first half-acre we had. They self-designated to be farm pups, and have never looked back, living the great life, exploring 95 acres, caring for over 220 residents. Let's go see some more. One of the first groups that folks get to meet when they come to the sanctuary is Buddy's Buds, our group of special needs goat residents. This is Tilly, that's Buddy. We've got Bill, Billy, and we'll see who else wanders up here. This is our group of individuals where we have to have a little bit more of a smaller space, just keep them a little bit closer watch, close to our med barn. Bill here has 3 legs. Tilly is blind, surrendered to us from a goat dairy. Buddy was our first special needs resident. He was born blind and surrendered to us at about 4 weeks old. We've got Ricky here. Ricky is just a gentle fella, and so gets to hang out in this little bit more chill crew. We've got our one sheep at the sanctuary, Olivia. They have this pasture land, and then there's a big open pasture that they share with a group called Copper's Crew, who will check in here within just a little bit. All of these residents are either rescued from the meat or dairy industry. Very common here in Texas, unfortunately, is the goat meat industry. So that's where most of these individuals were rescued from. All started off with one of our old men here, Rowdy. Rowdy was the 3rd of the goats that we rescued, along with his friend Missy is over here somewhere. We call her Med Barn Missy. There we go. Missy is always sneaking out. We actually have carabiners on all the gates here in Buddy's Buds because she's a crafty little girl. Let's see. We can go say hi to Olivia and a couple of the other residents before we jump on over to meet some of the other crew. Hi, Ricky. Ricky is very sweet. Ricky is all about loving. Unfortunately, Ricky was actually cared for, was just a beloved family member. And then a dog got onto his family's property and killed all of the other goats that were in their care. And so a couple of years ago, these family was looking for a safe place for him to go and kind of recover, find some new friends. And so Ricky joined our group. He's a very sweet boy. As you'll get to see as we go around, that is very common with all of our residents, not because we've trained them to be socialized, but because they get to have a much different experience than many other farmed animals around the world do. So sometimes they come to us with a little bit of trauma, sometimes they overcome that trauma and are nice and happy. And then sometimes we just continue to give them space and allow for them to live life at the pace that they are able to. Hey, buddy. Hi. Well, Buddy is blind, like I mentioned. If y'all scroll back on our Instagram stories, you'll see some historical videos of me and what was once a little baby Buddy snuggling. Now he is our very, very, very big boy. Maybe a little too big, huh, Buddy? I didn't really notice this about you. Hi. You been enjoying your treats? How you doing, sweet boy? Oh yeah, get that scratch. You got a scratch. Buddy is definitely my baby. As I mentioned, we rescued him at 4 weeks old. He spent a lot of time drinking bottles out of my lap and going to work with me and sitting in my lap. So I've got a lot of cuddle sessions that we've logged over the years. Still a favorite part of both of our days is being able to come out here and get some quality time together. Oh, big boy. He has got such a sweet, sweet face. How you doing? All right, well, I want to snuggle with Buddy, but we do have to get going on to the next. You're gonna try to lay on me. Oh. We laying down? We can lay down. You don't have to go. I could feel you wanting to. Buddy does still like a good lap snuggle. All right, Buddy, I am gonna have to go. Let's go check out very briefly. We'll see if we can see Dolly and Coco, and then we'll make our way on over to the pigs. Say bye, Buddy. They love you. I love you. Sweet guy. All right, so Dolly and Coco are way back there. Not too approachable, so we'll see if we can swing by and check them out. Let's go see some birds. All right, welcome to the aviaries of Austin Farm Sanctuary. Got a lot of residents that live up front, but of our 220 residents, nearly 100 of them are ducks, birds of all kinds, we'll just call it ducks, and primarily chickens. We've got our 8 duck boys here, 4 on one side, 4 on the other. When it comes to springtime, ducks can be a little brutal, we'll say, to each other. And so we do have them separated. You can see a little bit of a quarrel happening right now. Even though we rescued them back as ducklings, ducks just like to keep their distance from humans. So you can see them having a lot of chatter right here, working it out, fighting a little bit at the fence. It is almost cooping time. See, like, I don't get ducks. They are just fighting through the fence. It's really sad to see, actually, because they do so good together throughout the year. And then spring comes around, those hormones kick in, and all duck breaks loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and break them up. Let's move on over to some other chickens. All right, on to the next part of our aviaries, being guarded, as always, by loyal Brink. Hi, Brinky. Hi. Brink is a very sweet boy, brother of Lottie, who is a greeter here at the sanctuary always. Let's go down and meet some of our Cornish girls. So these 3, similar to the group that you met up front, are Cornish hens that are rescued from Kaporos, a religious mass sacrifice. Over 100,000 of these babies are killed at just 6 weeks old, throat slit, blood run down the street, and put into the trash. We really try to make an effort every year to work with Kind Kaporos, this time along with Tamer Lane Sanctuary up in the Northeast, to get as many individuals out of that situation in New York as possible and offer them home. These are the 3 survivors of our 2019 rescue, who, along with the 20 that you met up front, are, because they're a type of bird called Cornish, they're just get very large. So they have their own special day spots. They can get 2 square meals a day versus everybody else is kind of grazing. That really helps us regulate their food intake. Let me get them a snack real quick. Let's see, you want some of this grass? They will eat whatever you pluck for them. They get it really in moderation. You can see her having a good time. Hey, you already ate it. I'm about to coop them, and they really love cooping because that means that they get their dinner serving. So let's go check out the other birds that are in our aviary coops. I'm gonna go through here. I'll spin us around a little bit. We have 2 big buildings that are our overnight coops. Everybody else down here is kind of free range throughout the day. But then at night, they lovingly coop themselves up. So we've got a number of the individuals all kind of posted up here. We've got a fan running, an AC unit. It is hot here in Texas. Check out our Beat the Heat fundraiser. And you can see all of the individuals. When we do checks, we got 12 hens, well, 12 chickens. 2 of them are roos. And then we've got a very special little individual, Bubbles, here. She is a guinea hen that we rescued years ago. So they like to spend some of their time in here. It's amazing as the sun starts to dawn. Yeah, dawn till dusk. Either way, the sun starts to set and they all start to find their way into their rafters, cooping themselves up. These girls, as you can see, are ready to make their way. I'll coop them once we're done with our tour because my boy Casper, Turkey resident, is going to be greeting me, and he is always a handful. Let's hop on over to pigs. I'll see you there. Actually, before we go to pigs, I'm going to hop into our med barn real quick. This is our medical barn. We built it a couple of years ago. It's fantastic. It has helped us save so many lives. We're going to go grab our boy Galactus, who is hanging out in a nice cold stall. When the heat comes around, we've got to get this boy, who had a heat stroke last year, into a nice cool spot. We've got his own little personal AC unit that's running. I'm gonna go ahead and grab him and we'll take him over to see his Cornish friends. Come on, G-Man, let's go, Galactus. Galactus is one of our ambassadors of the sanctuary. I'm gonna put my phone down for a second so I can get a good grasp on him. All right, we've got him outside. We are walking over to drop him off with his Cornish friends. As I mentioned, Galactus, he was found as a rooster that was abandoned back in 2019, really at the early on stage when we first started rescuing chickens at that 5 acres in Cedar Creek, Texas. It's been really interesting to watch him evolve. He was incredibly scared and timid and showed that through being confrontational. He would try to fight us, kick at us, but he's gone through a lot of medical issues, which have required him to be very hands-on over the years, and now has developed a lot of trust. He loves to get put in with his ladies. That is not what I was hoping he would do on the camera, but you can see him getting his happy feet, being excited to be put in with them. He gets to join up with the Cornish girls every once in a while. He has to get a lot more food than they do, so he gets to kind of have a little bit of a breakout session, get some socialization. Enrichment is incredibly important to us. Let's see, y'all want this grass? Ow. All right, now to the pigs. All right, the next stop on our tour is Little Piglandia. I'll differentiate Little Piglandia versus Big Piglandia. Little Piglandia is most of our residents that we've rescued from, frankly, oftentimes, I should say, bad owners. These are individuals that have pets that can no longer care for them. They thought they were going to be mini pigs, micro pigs, which is not a thing, and they can no longer take care of them. So unfortunately, a lot of times they abandon them, just like dogs. People just take them out, leave them as strays. They, of course, would not survive this situation. They're found by animal control or a Good Samaritan and are then brought to us. Other situations, somebody's cared for them and loved them for a long time, and then they get sick and can't find family to take care of them or have the proper facilities. But more generally and more likely than not, it's just a sad and bad situation. Let's go in here and meet a couple of these individuals. So one of our Little Piglandia residents is Rosie. She's super sweet. She was a very loved girl, but her mama, her human mama, got really sick and her family wanted a safe place for her to go. So they sponsored for her to come join us here at the sanctuary. We've also got big boy Hammer. Hammer was one of the sad situations where he was actually dumped here, just abandoned by his prior quote unquote caregivers, and never again followed up on. They are living their best life. They're kind of in a little bit more of our gentle, chill crew. We've got Jose on the other side. We've got kind of 4 different groups here based on temperament. And Rosie, Hammer, Scout, and Sally are definitely our most chill crew coming in here, getting a little bit of love-ins and some snuggles. What do you think, Rosie? Yeah, alrighty. Rosie's been having a little bit of issues. She's actually got a vet trip planned for tomorrow. She hasn't been feeling very well. Has been kind of regurgitating when she's eating. Seems like she's struggling, so we're concerned that there's something internally going on with her. You can hear her making kind of some weird noises right now, a little like she's struggling to breathe. So it's really unfortunate. It's one of the things that we have to deal with and work around as a sanctuary for animals for forever, as you get them in their best times and their worst times and their most healthy and in their illnesses. So unfortunately, she's not feeling super great right now, so I'm gonna give her space. She's feeling a little uncomfortable, but that is another reason why it's incredibly important to support sanctuaries and support them monthly, support us monthly, is because we are caring for individuals for days, months, weeks, years, decades in some cases, and that requires a lot of maintenance and a lot of care, a lot of proactive and reactive care. Who else you got in here? Hammer's guarding Sally. It's all right, Sally. Obviously they're all trying to settle in for bed, so let's hop on over to Big Pigs and give them some space. All right, y'all, we have made our way all the way to the back of the property. Again, Austin Farm Sanctuary covers 95 acres. At the back of our proper 40 acres is a large, large pond. As you can see, just a part of it. This is the wallows for the big pigs. This is one of our many big pigs, Lucy. We'll check her out in a second. I see Bo Diddley over here being a little destructive, so let's go check him out. All right, so this is Bo Diddley, one of our mighty fine bovine, along with his friend, the water buffalo Rufus. Who else we got over here? We got a whole lot of the residents down the fence line, hanging out in the nice shady area, trying some of this fresh forage. What do you think, Bo Diddley? That's about what Bo Diddley thinks. Walk down the fence line because it looks like we've got a lot of individuals hanging out by the pond. Let's go check them out. Bo Diddley running off Rufus. No surprise there. Let's sneak on down this way. Avoid any snakes we can make contact with. So it looks like who we're coming up on now is Pearl. Pearl is one of our mamas at the sanctuary. She is actually freed because of her late son Copper. Was born with only 3 legs. That allowed for him to be considered and surrendered to us. Hi, Pearl. I know I'm sneaking up on you. You're not expecting to see somebody back here. How you doing? We've got Knox back there in the trees looking all majestic. His brother Pax over here. Oh, hi, Pax. Hi, Paxy boy. What's up? This is not usually an area where I frequent. It's the back kind of corner, untouched part of the property. And they're all a little spooked. This is Polly again, coming to check us out. I'm gonna go check out Penny, her sister. Hi, Polly. It's all safe. It's me, sweetie. Come on. Let's go check out sister, adoptive sister, of course. Oh, getting some zoomies. Hyped up. So the sanctuary covers a lot of ground. The big pigs have about 12 acres to themselves, including this very, very dense wooded area that moves on over and joins up with Mootopia. All right, y'all. Well, pretty amazing way to wrap it up. We will go check out our water buffalo girls, new arrivals over in quarantine. But what a beautiful spot to see. Way back when we had a half-acre vision to move to 595, this kind of life, this kind of experience, this kind of space didn't really seem possible. But thanks to our supporters, thanks to our donors, our volunteers, our staff members, people who have believed in us and pushed us forward, and thanks to these amazing individuals who on a daily basis give us so much inspiration, we've been able to achieve a really, really beautiful place. Just some happy, free cows wandering back behind me, grazing around, looking for food, hanging out by the pond. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this experience. Don't go away just yet. Go ahead and let's meet Sonia and Mirabelle. All right, on our way to see Mirabelle and Sonia, I've got to stop and show you one of our residents, Milkshake. She's hanging out. We have this huge concrete slab that all of the residents, the big pig residents, eat off of. What that does is it helps them, one, keep everything nice and dry. It is tough. Pigs like to flip their food bowls. That leads to them eating out of the mud when it's raining. So we've got this nice, awesome, dry, raised surface that helps them eat, but it also helps file down their hooves. So instead of very expensive and risky hoof treatment every year, which we did for a long time. Now they basically self-treat. We've got Wanda who's coming over here to check out. I'm gonna stand up. Wanda's a little bit of a spunky girl. She's very friendly, but spunky and 500 pounds, even though friendly is sometimes not welcome. And then we've got Pan, Peter Pan, walking up as well. You can see his very noticeable big old floppy tongue. All right, now on to the girls. All right, so 3 of the residents here at Austin Farm Sanctuary are water buffalo. This is Sonia and Mirabelle. They are very new residents here at the sanctuary, still in our North 40 acres doing quarantine. Eventually they'll get to join Rufus and the rest of our cattle crew. What's up, sweetie? Yeah. We're working to get them settled in, still a little anxious from arriving here all the way from Northern California. Water buffalo are often at risk of being in the dairy industry. A lot of times that's where they are rescued from, whether they're baby boys or mamas. Luckily, these 2 girls were never in that situation. They lived in somebody's home and were cared for, but were at risk of being sold into dairy, and so they were surrendered to us. Thank you so much for joining us in this tour. These are our last visitors as we always finish with our quarantine pen. We are really grateful to get to share this amazing place with y'all. Stories of life, love, redemption, family, and freedom. We appreciate you. We hope to see you in person. Thank you.